So the other day, my credit card account was hacked. I woke up in the morning to get multiple messages from my bank saying that there were suspicious transactions, and I logged in, saw that there were multiple transactions going out to Facebook ads that was not me for reasonably large sums of money. And naturally the account was then blocked, it was halted, and I had to arrange for a new card. This takes time. I am overseas at the moment as well, in a different country from where my bank account is located in Australia. And this got me thinking, what if I didn't have any of my backup plans in place? It could have been a very worrying event. If you only have one bank account and it gets hacked and you're overseas and you're not able to access funds quickly, you could be in a lot of strife. You could be homeless on the street if you can't book a hotel, if you don't have cash. You could be stranded if you can't book a flight to go where you need to go. You need to have access to money. Now, I wasn't too worried because I have many contingencies in place, and what I wanted to do in this video is just go through some of the things that I do, that I plan around, so that if something like this does happen, and these things do happen from time to time, I'm not really worried about it because I've got plenty of other things I can do to get access to cash. Sure, it is a bit of a concern about how it happened, and it definitely is a bit of an inconvenience, but as far as my day-to-day operational needs go, I can still bank, I can still buy things, I can still run my business. I wasn't too worried in that respect. So here's some of the things that I do to make sure that if I have an account hacked or an account closed, and especially if I'm overseas in a different country to where my bank account is located, these are some of the things that I do to make sure that it's not a big problem for me and I can remain operational. Now, if you are interested in learning more about how to bank safely and how to set up your accounts and have various backups in place so that if something does happen, you're not adversely affected, or you can at least sidestep and keep moving forward. We outlined a lot of this stuff in detail in our premium country guides. They're basically expat guides aimed at people moving overseas for the first time or who are relatively fresh in living an overseas life. We cover a lot of things that you will want to think about that will save you a lot of hassle later. So we have them available for Thailand, Malaysia, and Philippines at this moment. Head over to offshoreinasia.com, go to the products menu, and you will see these comprehensive expat guides there. They're available up on the website for US $10. So what are the contingencies that I put in place to make sure that having an account hacked or closed, or maybe even a card lost, it doesn't become a problem for me? Well, the first thing is to have more than one credit card. So this particular credit card got hacked, the account was halted, it is now closed while an investigation on the fraud is going ahead and the monies are being retrieved. But I still need access to a credit card for making online purchases. It might be flights, it might be accommodation, it might be shopping, it could be anything, it doesn't matter. You want to have access to another credit card or to another debit account that has money with it, something that is available to you for purchasing online. I have more than one credit card. I have multiple transaction debit cards, so I'm not worried at all in that respect. I can just switch over to a new card and carry on doing what I need to do. It is also a really good idea to have different accounts with different banks. If something happens with a particular bank and maybe there's some kind of security breach or some kind of funny online transaction and they suspect you have been tied up in something that they want to take a closer look at, there could be a technical problem on the bank's end that shuts down all of their banking operations for a day or so. These things do happen. In this case, if you have all of your accounts with the same bank and that particular bank has some issues, then you're going to be in trouble. You want to have different cards with different banks. So if one bank goes down for a day or a few hours and you need to make an important transaction, you can just pull out your card from a different bank and go ahead. Another thing I do is store cards in different places. There's no point having all of these contingencies, all of these multiple bank accounts and backup plans in place if you have all of your cards in the one place, in the one bag, and that bag gets stolen. What I like to do is spread it around a little bit. I'll have some cards in my wallet, I might have another bag with a card, I might have some other cards stashed somewhere else in my condo or at the office, wherever. So that then if your wallet gets stolen, you can go get the card from your office. If your bag at the office gets stolen, you can go get one of the cards that you have back at your condo. I also like to have some alternatives, some Visa cards and some MasterCards. This isn't as much of an issue these days, not that I've run into, but I have come across this in the past, particularly in South America, where this particular country or this particular vendor was not accepting MasterCard, so I had to use a Visa card. But even going back to this sort of having multiple banks thing, maybe MasterCard will have an issue one day, maybe Visa will have an issue one day that will just shut down the whole Visa network. Now then, if you have a MasterCard that you can use instead, that's going to allow you to keep operating. Now these days it is becoming very common for a lot of people to just do everything off their phone, have basically their whole life on their phone. What happens if you lose your phone? You are stuffed. That's why you need to be able to not only have, virtual cards on your phone and phone apps, banking apps on your phone, you need to be able to have online access on your computer. You need to have your cards in your wallet. It's all about having multiple methods for transacting because nothing is perfect. And particularly with such centralization of two-factor authentication and online banking apps, everything pushed onto the phone these days, it really is a massive flaw in what seems to be quite convenient on the surface, really is in some ways an inferior way or a very vulnerable way of doing things if you only have everything on your phone. I would encourage you to definitely not rely solely on banking and so forth from your phone. And not just losing your phone, the internet could go down so you won't be able to access banking on your phone. Your phone might go flat. Maybe there's a blackout. Maybe you've been in a typhoon in the Philippines. There's no electricity for 3 days. You can't charge your phone, so you can't bank. A really good backup plan that will cover you in most things is having cash. Always carry some cash. And it doesn't hurt to have US dollars as well. US dollars will be accepted just about anywhere. Having some cash in the currency that you're using for the country you're in is a really good thing. Having cash in another country that you can at least convert when you need to convert is another really good thing. Because there are blackouts, there are natural disasters, the internet does go down, you can lose your phone, you can lose your computer, you can lose your wallet, all of these things can stop you from being able to transact. But if you have cash, a stash of cash somewhere that you can go and then take down to the foreign exchange dealer, change into whatever you need, this will get you out of trouble most times. So I won't waffle on too much. Just a quick summary of some of the main things that I like to do, some of the things that I was very happy that I had in place that enabled me to just not be too worried about this at all when my account got hacked. I'm moving on, I'm getting a new card. It hasn't stopped me from doing anything at all, which is exactly why I planned it this way. As I said, we go into a lot of this stuff in more detail, as well as all other kinds of things you should be thinking about when moving overseas, particularly for the first time, in our country guides up on our website if you're interested in Thailand, Malaysia, the Philippines. They are available there to help you move out overseas with confidence, because a lot of times you don't really think of something being an issue until you encounter it being an issue. We've been through all of this stuff ourselves before. That's why we wanted to put it into an ebook to provide to prospective expats to keep them out of trouble as well. Save them a lot of time, save them a lot of hassle, save them a lot of worry. If you've had any issues with your banking overseas, please share your experiences down in the comments section and what you did to overcome these issues. Other than that, we'll leave the video there, guys. Thank you for watching, and we'll catch you later.